Hello and welcome back to another Grand Arena Championship. I'm Heathen13 and it's been about a month since we've seen each other. We've got Grand Arena totally revamped, crystals are on the line, new matchmaking setup. The long and short of it is I kind of think I'm going to lose a lot more often. And that is mainly because there are a lot of people in the 6 million GP range that have way more GLs than I do. But I still think Grand Arena is the most fun part of this game, so I'm going to do my best. Let's take a look at who I'm facing in this first round. And my opponent's name is Time Walker. So let's look at the matchup. Alright, so checking out the hotbot, and it looks like I've caught a break with my first matchup. That's not to say that my opponent is bad, but as you can see, I have almost all of the green on my side. I have so many advantages in this particular match. And while I really want to guard against being overconfident, I feel like I'm getting kind of a softball here to start. So let's zoom in and take a closer look. All right, as you can see, my opponent is not a bad player at all. He had 792,000 lifetime banners, so definitely quality. He had over 2,000 offensive wins, 5,500 events, although that's just a little bit more than 25%, so definitely more on the offensive heavy approach. Not a ton of undersizes, not a ton of clears, but he did play all the time. His history did show that he was an active participant. Comparing our rosters, and here's where we can see that matchmaking system already coming to play. He's just a tiny bit higher than me in total GP, but I don't think we would have been matched up against each other in the old system. My top 80 and top 65 are a little higher, and while close, it is still a big enough difference that I feel like most of my matches were closer than this in terms of matchup GP. And that's honestly what I'm going to be worried about going forward, is that I'm going to be really close to GP wise with some opponents, but those opponents are going to have a way higher matchup GP than mine. So I would have never faced them before, and now I'm going to have to. But that's not the case here. He does have 4 more Zetas applied than I do, and he has already applied an Omnicron. He applied it on his Phasma, but since that is just a TW thing, it won't affect us at all. I've got about 10 more speed than he does on average. I've got 14 more Gear 13s. He's got a couple more Gear 12s. All the stats here, looking at our roster comparisons, are fairly close. What's not close is our mods. I've got 3 times more mods than he does in terms of 6-dot mods. I've got way more mods with high-speed secondaries. This area, I have a huge advantage. It's also not very close when we get to relics. I've got 58 more total relics than he does. And my biggest advantage is here in the meta character report. He only has 1 Galactic Legend, and that's Rey, and she is only Relic 6 with the ultimate, whereas I have Luke and Kylo, both with the ultimates at Relic 7. Finally, checking out ships, neither one of us have the Executor, although both of us are actually very close on the requirements, but neither one of us has unlocked it yet. Okay, before I jump in and show you his roster, because there are some weird things about his roster, I wanted to show you my pod, because I do take the time to scout all of these guys every time a new week starts. I always go through and I look at all of my current opponents in the pod together to see what we're looking at, and just to illustrate how interesting matchups are going to be, at least for the first month or two. We have one person in this pod, Wanna Kill Ya, who has no Galactic Legends. We've got 3 Sky, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Time Walker that all have 1 GL. We have myself, Anatoly, and Juggernaut with 2 GLs each. And then this guy way down the bottom, who I'm going to call Potts, actually has 3 GLs. So out of 8 opponents, we've got this huge, massive gap between 0 GLs and 3. It should make for an interesting first week. I'm expecting to match up eventually with Potts, and we'll see if I can pull that off with the GL disadvantage. But today, I've got the GL advantage. So let's take a look at Time Walker. Some weird things to see. One, he has Galactic Legend Rey, but he runs it in Arena with Jedi Knight Luke, which I think is a weird comp, I think. He doesn't have a ton of teams. That's what stuck out to me. His gas squad, he's got a Relic 2 gas, but some of his clones aren't Relic. He does have some Relic bounty hunters. He also has Relic 7 Vader, and his Piet and TIE Fighter pilot are Relic. Galactic Republic squad. But what was really weird to me is if we look at his First Order team, they're really undergeared, and yet he put the Omnicron on Phasma. I wonder if that was one of those things where his guild told him that he needed to do it or something, but to me, that's a total waste. He also has some good Jedi, some good Rebels. He's got all the Resistance and some decent Separatists, but there weren't a ton of really good teams here, which meant that I felt like I could go pretty heavy on defense. So we're almost exactly halfway through the attack phase. We're back in the middle of the night. Let me show you the board. My opponent has not gone yet, as far as I know. I decided because I have the Galactic Legend advantage, I would use that. So I went ahead and set my SLKR down here at the bottom, along with Jedi Training Rey. Here's my Lando group and my Phasma group in the front zone, which just shows you now being in the Kyber 2 range, I have to set 11 squads when I used to only set 9. And that is definitely stretching my roster. I feel bad for my brother Boba Fett. He went from having to set 7 squads to having to set 11. So talk about stretching. Here up top, I put my gas and my Darth Revan along with Geos and a Dooku team. Essentially, I'm trying to make it so he can't clear a single zone. If he does get to the back, I put junk. This Akbar squad with some rebels is, I guess, okay. But this Finn Resistance team, and I put Ewoks. Again, I don't expect him to get through SLKR at all, and I decided to hold more teams on offense because I was setting some of my best squads on defense. And because I'm not even sure he's going to clear that top, I went ahead and put Rebels and Empire on defense, figuring I'd just keep my Get 2 ships for offense. Let me show you what I'm up against. He set his gas, and you can see some of those clones aren't even gear 12. His Geos, with Brood Alpha, is gear 11. He does have a Jedi Knight Luke squad here, and then some undergeared bounty hunters. He does have some Relic bounty hunters, but these are not them. Then down here on the bottom, we have a Mon Mothma team, a Vader squad. There is his Rey, along with some Ewoks. So kind of a Rey and Prey, and yet he used up his Jedi Knight Luke and his gas team. So I'm not sure what he's going to use to clear any of my squads. So I think I have plenty to get this done. As always, I will go through the bottom first, open up the back, see what's hiding back there, and we'll take it from there. So with that, we will go straight in on the Rey squad. I've got my Jedi Master Luke. And the one change that I'm going to make is normally I have kind of some junk Jedi in here like Ezra, who's only gear 12. And instead I'm subbing in Bastila in order to get her ability blocks on her basic. Whenever Rey doesn't have ability block, I'm going to go ahead and call Bastila to try and get ability block on her to minimize the amount of whirlwinds we get. But anytime Rey is ability blocked already, we'll call in Jedi Knight Luke for the damage. So that's the plan. We'll see if we can execute. By the way, I really like how they put up at the top what team you're facing, so you can't ever misclick anymore. It's just right there. All right, let's see if this works. Let's see if we can get off to a good start. All right, I am faster. We'll start with Efflux, get the ability blocks out there. Put Lifeblood on. I'm not sure. Oh, over there on Finn. That is okay. I'm going to go ahead and put Master's Training on Luke. And there is no ability block on her right now, so we'll call in Basila. Got the ability block. Let's go ahead and get the stuns. Call in Luke again. Into damage immunity, so we'll start working on Finn. She's gone again. Now we'll switch back to her. And I will call in Basila again. Try and get that ability block. Didn't get it. Let's call it Basila again. There we have it. And back to Luke. Now I do expect to eat an ultimate from her. And then after that ultimate goes through, hopefully be able to take her down. There goes the ultimate. So now while we're sitting here waiting for her to attack, I'll go ahead and just spread around the buff from Grandmaster Luke. And no, I'm not doing any damage here, but trying to get ourselves closer to my own ultimate. I'll hold off on the efflux until after. And there goes the ultimate. Alright, survived it. And back on Ray. You know what? Let's go ahead and call Luke. We're close to getting her down, so at this point I'm not as worried about the ability blocks. She's blinded at the moment. Get that on Luke, and she's down. Alright, so now it's just clean up. How many banners can I get back? Looks like I am short a little bit on Basti, so let's go ahead and try and get her back. It'd be really sweet if I could get a, whatever it is, 65? We are still in damage immunity. I don't want attacking him. There we go. So we've got 2 people in damage immunity at the moment. So we're just gonna do basics, I think. Hermit Yoda missing some. We've got a bunch of people missing some protection, so I think this is only gonna be like a 62, but then it's also my first attack, so I'll get the bonus 10 points for attacking as well. So like a 72? Yeah, there we go. I'm still pretty pleased with that. Anytime you can get a very nice, easy, collected, non-stressful win against a GL, it is nice. Let's go ahead and take care of these Ewoks. I've got Nest available, so we will solo them with Nest. Their Paplu, or rather Logray, does not have basically any potency whatsoever, so I'm not worried about it getting stunned at all. Let's put this on auto, fast forward, and just finish this up. Alright, so it turned out he didn't even have Logray in the team. I wasn't looking closely enough. He had Scout there instead anyway. So regardless, my Nest was never under any threat anyway. Let's jump against this Mon Mothma, and I'm going to mirror match it, except my Mon Mothma is significantly faster, my Cara Dune, and I've got the turn meter train version, and I even have Kyle Katarn in there. He's only gear 9, 3 stars. That could be a stupid mistake. He could just die. But the plan is to not let them have many or any attacks at all to begin with. So we'll give it a shot. Something new. Hopefully it works. So this is the one to spell all the buffs on everybody. I don't really want to do this because it's gonna give Biggs an attack. So I'm just gonna base it. And that way I'll get my turn meter train going. And we'll get our friend in here. And we'll go ahead and take down... Oh, shoot. I meant to attack Wedge, not Biggs. That was total misclick. Big fat finger, not looking carefully enough. Out of practice here after a month off. And... We're gonna have to go ahead and do this after all. And it didn't do anything. So let's go ahead and do that one too. Then Biggs is getting too many attacks. I gotta stop with the AoEs. And we're gonna need to get lucky on our res. We need Cara Dune to come back. That was the wrong one. Alright, let's go after Chirrut. Assuming we come back to win this, it's gonna be really ugly banners. I'm not even sure we're gonna win it though. We need to withstand all of the counterattacks that this Biggs is gonna throw at us. And he's Relic 5, Relic 3 I think. Again, here's why we need Kara to soak all this up. See if we can get a stun. Alright, that was nice. Ugh. Yeah, we're gonna lose. What a terrible loss. Played this wrong. Underestimated it too. I knew the Biggs could be an issue. Also got really unlucky to lose Cara Dune without her having potency up. Oh, there we go. We got days on him. That's nice. Won't counter him anymore. Well, we got the win, but that's horrible. 57. Terrible. The game is definitely a work in progress. I had my own Biggs and Wedge on there at one point, and I think that's the way I like to run him if I'm going to put him on defense. But I figured for offense I'd try with Kyle, and yeah, he didn't seem to help me at all. But I probably played it wrong too. Alright, against this EP Vader squad, I am going to take in my Jedi Knight Revan squad. And this could be some dicey situation here. I don't have Basti, but I do have Ezra instead. I am expecting to lose a couple people. We'll get saved by Savior on one of them, and then just hopefully Jolie's not the one to die so that he can bring people back. It's quite possible that this one goes south too. I was going back and forth between Jedi Knight Reverend and Padme, but eventually settled on Revan. I'm just gonna go straight after Vader because he's the big threat, really. Do I want to go for the attack? Let's spread the foresight and see if I can get ability block. Very nice. Let's go ahead and call Yoda in. Okay, so the main threat is averted. I would love it if I could get rid of Thrawn so that I don't have to deal with his fracture. Nice. Let's get our taunt up. And at this point, it's just how many banners am I going to lose? And it looks like I'm losing a lot, which is a bummer. But again, I don't think my opponent's going to full clear me, and banners don't matter anymore other than to win. So I just got to win, and I think that is almost a foregone conclusion. Alright, let's open up the back and see what's back there. I have no idea, honestly. Alright, so we have only 2 squads. He didn't set 3. He set 2. A Padme and a Phasma team. Huh. So I just got free banners by getting back here because he didn't set that team. Or do I get the free banners when I clear the zone? I'm not sure. In any event, I don't think it's a viable strategy to not set any teams at all back here. Yeah, I just think that's a bad plan. So, since I think I have a bunch of different options to take these two teams out, let's go back up to the front, up to the top, and handle those ones first. Make sure we can clear through the rest of the board. And we'll start with the gas. And we've got CLS for that. So, just jump right in there. Hopefully, this goes smoothly. My only worry actually is killing some of the clones with counterattacks and getting the sacrifice happening really, really quickly. Do that. He sits down. Let's get 5s. Oh, well, 5s attacked first, so that's nice. And we'll go right back after him. And we have all of these guys who are just so low. I think an AoE might kill them all. Yep. And we'll lose our banners, but for protection. But 62 is still fine. Alright. I normally like to take Vader against Bugs, but I'm going to try my Vader against his Jedi Knight Luke. We'll go Palpatine lead with Vader, and let's get some other Sith in there. Actually, let's just go with some Empire. I'm not going to take Piet with troopers anywhere, I don't think. So I think I'm safe to use them here. Or you know what? Let's just ensure that I get a first attack. And let's go ahead and put in Watt instead. We'll go with this group. I think this should be fine. With all of that Empire and Sith and all of his Jedi, I do believe I should go first with Vader. So we'll put that on him. And we will immediately... Let's Force Crush over there. And we'll Merciless. We will Ability Block these guys. Ability Block. Oh, or Kill. Ability Block. Force Crush on Shock so she can't counterattack. And the Throw. Didn't get him. Well, we'll Ability Block him. And we'll steal all of that away anyway. Got him that time. Alright, well, not as clean as I would have hoped. I would have liked to have gotten the kill on the first Culling Blade. But, I mean, I guess whatever, right? It's all working, and it looks like I'm going to end up with full health and full protection on everybody. Oh, why was I targeting Hoda? There we go. So I've got two different options here for these Geos. 3 really. I could do Bounty Hunters, which might be fun. Or I could do Traya, which is pretty old and played out. But I think I want to try Grievous. Kept Grievous for offense. And I thought, you know what? Maybe all his big AoEs will work well. And if it doesn't work, like I said, I have other options still. I also have Padme I could go with. In the end, I think, hopefully, all of the AoEing from Grievous and all of the AoEing from B2 and B1 and Magna, yeah. I think this worked out fine. Yes, Grievous damages his own team, so I did lose 2 banners there, but still interesting. Never tried that. Figured why not. Now I think the hardest squad I have left is probably that Padme team in the back. So let's go back over here and let's try and take the Padme out. And again, I'm pretty confident that I'm winning this one. And so I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot with my Bounty Hunters because he doesn't have a tank. So I'm pretty sure I should be able to get my contract off really fast and then just disintegrate Padme. The team should fall apart. At least that's the plan. I am faster than them, so I double check that. We'll go ahead and target Anakin and try and stun Anakin. And we got our contract up. And now it is just a matter of getting our disintegrate, getting Mando a turn. So there goes Padme. Yeah, this would never have worked if it was, you know, the normal team with General Kenobi getting the taunts. I mean, I could have disintegrated Kenobi, but then I mean, I'd just be biding my time to hope Mando got another disintegrate at some point. So I just figured, since it was an unusual team of his, that I could do this. Now that sucked. Losing Aura is a bummer. I kind of expected her to be stealth the whole time, and she wasn't. So paying the price in banners for messing around a little bit, but again, this is not going to be an efficiency match. I don't think he's going to full clear me. Since I put down SLKR, which is, you know, probably the weakest GL at this point, and definitely has some counters that you can do against it, but he put Jedi Knight Luke and he put Gas both on defense. So most of the team that you use to counter it is over here. So, you know, I don't think he has an option. All right, against his bounty hunters, we got so much still in the tank here. We'll go Padme. Part of me wonders, should I be doing undersizes? But again, I don't think banners matter. So we're just gonna take the full squad. Yeah, these guys are really low anyway, so there we go. And sometimes he puts Negotiator on defense, sometimes he doesn't. We'll see what he did this time. Nope. So we got some Empire and the Finalizer. So I'll go with Negotiator against that Empire squad. We'll bring most of the team. I think that's good. Like I said, I'm working on the Executor. I'm almost there. I've got all the got all the characters to Gear 13, and it's just at this point I'm just farming up the materials for the relics. It just takes so long. As a pretty much free-to-play player, I have spent in the past a little tiny bit, $10 here, $10 there, mostly free-to-play, trying to get all of those relics. Just takes literally months. So it is a slow process. Hopefully in the next 4 weeks or so I will have it done. And there we go with that one. There we go with that one. They're bringing in what, Sith Bomber. Okay, so bombs. That was weird. The bombs showed up on my ships before he actually did his bombing run. But oh well. Let's put healing immunity there. And I think I'm just gonna bring in Ahsoka for a big hit and end it. It's so weird. I have no point of reference as to what a good score is or bad score. I mean, I get it that with ground teams, you get a 65 for a full clear with everybody with protection and health. But on ships, I think 75 is good. But, you know, I'm not positive. I did leave some people behind, so I think that was probably the equivalent of like a 65 or 66 in the old way. In any event, let's get rid of this finalizer. We just want to concentrate over on to Kylo's silencer. We'll get our buzz droids. Let's clear the ability block off there. Call the assists. And it's basically over. I probably didn't need, I didn't need to bring any reinforcements, I don't think. Nope. Alright, and we got one team left. Back here in the back, it is a Phasma-led First Order. Phasma's got their Omicron, but it only works in TW. I've got all these teams left. Night Sisters, BAM, some other random stuff. And yet I'm going to go past all of them because I would like to play with Bad Batch. They are still really low gear. We got gear 10 on a couple of them, gear 9 on a few of them. But I don't think it's going to matter. I outspeed his guys. And I think as long as I get out front, strip all those buffs away, get the big stun, do some AoEing, and some flexing, not some flexing, some more stunning. And let's see if we can get a big hit over there. Do that to Hunter. There we go. Alright, so a full clear. We weren't super duper efficient. We dropped some banners here and there throughout. Had a really ugly Mon Mothma mirror match. And then we lost our aura on that Padme team. But overall, I'm really happy with how that round went, especially considering it's been like a month since we've done GAC. I'll be surprised if my opponent attacks much at all. Like I've said, I don't think he's clearing. So I'll be back at the end to let you know whether or not he came back to attack or not. So I will see you at the end of the round. Alright, and we're back. The round is over, and it went pretty much the way I expected it to. My opponent did attack. He went up here on the top. He one-shot my Geos. He ended up getting a 66 on that, which if we subtract the 10 for his first attack is only a 56. So not very good banners there on that one. He then gave Gas one try, failed on that, and he called it a day. He figured he couldn't win, so why try? I think with this new emphasis on winning and losing and less on total banners, I think this is going to happen a lot. I think a lot of people, as soon as they realize they can't mathematically win, they're just going to stop playing, because what's the point? You're not trying to rack up banners so you can eventually make Kyber. It's just coming down to wins and losses now. So I think this is going to happen a lot. It is kind of a benefit almost of going first and attacking first and putting a good number up on the board so that your opponent maybe is under a little stress. Then again, I also like to know what score I need to beat. In any event, we got 1734 to 66 as our final score. I want to say thank you to Time Walker for the match. Thank you for participating and setting on defense and all of that. I want to thank you all for watching. I know it's been a long time, so I appreciate if you gave this a watch. And I will see you again in next round.